Hello, hello, our internet friends. It is Jerry Tolliver with Fly Credit Solutions, and welcome back to our weekly educational webinar. Today, we're going to be talking to our entrepreneurs and our business owners because we know how important it is for you all to start building some business credit. We know that most businesses fail because they don't have enough money, because they don't have enough capital so that they can buy equipment, so that they can hire help, so that they can buy inventory, things that they need to actually grow their business idea. And we understand how limiting it could be for you all. So we want to help change and shift that idea so that you can get some business credit, some money, some funding, some capital to take your business to the next level. So if you guys have any questions while we're going through this, feel free to write down any of them so that at the end of this, we can answer any questions that you may have. And if you don't have any questions while we're going through this, then it's okay. You may even think of some once we're done, and you can always email us so that we can answer any questions and help you out during this process. So I hope you guys are ready. Let's go ahead and get it started. Now, the first question you should ask yourself is, why should you build credibility? The first thing is, a business first starts with a credit file, much like a consumer does, right? A consumer has to build their credit file from scratch. They have to get loans. They may have to get a couple of credit cards, retail cards, major credit cards from banks. It's very, very similar with a business credit report. But the only difference between the business credit is that with business credit, the only way you're really graded is by your payment history, right? So as long as you pay on your accounts on time or earlier, then you'll be guaranteed to have a very high business credit score. Consumer credit is calculated much differently. It's broken up into 5 different categories. And if you fail in a few of those categories, then your score will drop. It's not like that with business credit. With business credit, you'll actually have higher lines of credit, and it only really calculates your business payment history. Now, the perception that you give to lenders, creditors, and vendors is extremely important. They use a lot of different criteria in order to approve you for particular accounts. So if you don't have your credibility standards already put into place, or if you haven't really even taken care of the basic fundamental things, then you may get denied for some accounts, and that's something that you don't want. So we want to be able to help you with taking the correct steps. Now, before applying for any credit in your business name, you're going to have to form a business entity. Now, business entity is where you're set up a legal entity with your state, or with whatever state you want to form your business in. So it's a legal company that you create. It could be a sole proprietor, it could be a partnership, it could be an LLC, or it could be a corporation. Now, the reason that you want to do this is because you want to reduce your personal liabilities and, of course, your taxes. If you have a business, then your business is going to have different income, it's going to have different expenses than you have as a person. So if you're going to have a sole proprietor is owned and operated by one person. So if it's only you, then in most cases, you are the 100% owner of the company. You are 100% liable for everything that happens in your company. You do not have any type of legal structure put into place. Therefore, you don't have any protection in case something happens. Now, if there's 2 or more people that's in this business, then you, of course, have a partnership. So the both of you, or 2 or more of you, will have legal actions and debt you'll be liable for. So if anything were to happen, if you were to be sued, if the company were to get sued, or if you have to file bankruptcy, that will be you and your partners would be liable for all of that. Now, LLCs are another legal structure. It is very similar to a sole proprietorship as far as taxes are concerned. So when you file an LLC, it is a separate entity. However, you'll still file it on your taxes as a self-employed sole proprietor, if you will. The only difference is that the LLC is a legal corporate structure. So it's registered with the state. It has its own EIN number, quote unquote, social security number for your LLC. But the LLC has no personal liability for any debt. So anything that you may open, any accounts that you open in the business name, you won't be liable for that unless you give a personal guarantee. Corporations are different because it has no personal liability at all. You do have to file your taxes differently under a corporation, but that is a separate, a completely separate entity than the person. So you have a couple of different type of corporations. You have S Corp, C Corp. But of course, I would highly, highly encourage you, if you have an accountant, if you have a tax professional, if you have a lawyer, reach out to them so they can give you the right information that'll be suitable for you. The next thing that you want to research after you figured out what type of structure that you want to incorporate with is the business name. Now, before applying for any new lines of business credit, it is very, very important that you check your legal business and the name and the address. Everything should be spelled correctly with matching addresses, okay? Your full name, your business name, the address should all be exactly the same on any documents that you file. So if you decide to file your company and you're going to have a doing business as name, make sure that doing business as name is the same on all of your corporate documents. So this includes address, this includes bank accounts, this includes your EIN number. So a lot of things are going to be taken into account, but ensure that all of the paperwork that you have the same business name and the same business address. So your corporation papers, your licenses, your bank statements, all of that should be accurate. All of that should be the same. The next thing that you want to get is a tax ID number, which is the EIN. So this is your federal tax ID number. You can get this for free at irs.gov. So you can just go to irs.gov, fill out for a new tax ID number. It is completely free. You will need this in order to open a bank account in your business credit name. It's extremely important that you open up a business account as soon as you possibly can. Ensure that all the agencies, banks, and any trade credit references that you are going to be opening up with vendors, make sure that they have the same tax ID number associated with you. You also need an EIN number in case that you want to hire some help. So if you have some contractors, if you have some employees, then you're going to need an EIN number in order to file that on your taxes as expenses. And then you'll also have to kick out a 1099 to your employees, not your employees. You have to kick out a 1099 to your contractors so that you can file that type of information on your taxes, and they can file the income on their taxes as well. The next thing you'll need is a business phone and a fax number. A dedicated business phone number with a fax is extremely important. It's very important that you get a toll-free number. It's not difficult to get a toll-free number, and make sure that you're listed with 411. Even if you're a sole proprietor, even if you're working out of your home, even if you're a home-based business, get a toll-free number. Why, Jerry? Why should you get a toll-free number? You should get a toll-free number because it gives you the illusion that you're bigger than you actually are. If you have a 1-800 number, if you have an 888 number, if you have a toll-free number, it gives you the illusion that your company is bigger than you are. It gives you the illusion that it's not just you. And even if it is you, lenders and creditors won't necessarily believe that to be so if you have a toll-free number. Excuse me. Make sure that your business is listed with 411. You must have a local business number to be listed with 411. So get you can get a toll-free number with Grasshopper. You can get a toll-free number with RingCentral. There are a lot of different options that you guys can choose, but just make sure that you get your business phone number, your fax number, and get that listed with 411. Now, another thing also, with 411, the Grasshopper and I believe even RingCentral will actually list you in 411 as a part of their service. So that's something really good to know. The next thing that you'll need is a website with matching email address. Now, creditors, they're going to research your company without a doubt. Even on the application, they ask you, what's your website? So they're going to take a look at your website. They're going to make sure that you have a web presence. Now, it does not have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be, all these different fancy things with bells and whistles. It doesn't have to be that. It just has to be functional. It has to be easy to navigate through. Make sure you have a mission statement, a contact us page, and any other products and services that you offer. And make sure that it's clear. Make sure that it's concise. Make sure it's straight to the point. The last thing that you need is a creditor looking at your website and being confused about what it is your company does. Okay? Now, not having a website will significantly, and I mean significantly, hurt your chances of obtaining business credit. So get a business website, guys. It's easy to get a business. It's one of the easiest things you could do, actually, is to get a business website. You can start with WordPress. You can go to Wix.com if you don't have any type of website or design experience. But it's really easy to do. There's so many templates out here that help people that don't have this type of experience. But if you do have this type of experience, then you have a one up on a lot of people, because building a website, it is a little time consuming, but if you do it and you do it right, it'll propel your business to the next level. Another mistake that I see is people that don't have matching business email addresses. Creditors and lenders, when they see a free Gmail or Yahoo address, they're not really going to take you seriously. It's free, for crying out loud. So if you have a website, in most cases, you're going to have some matching email addresses that are associated with that. So you can have, contact@abc.com. You can have info@abccompany.com. It doesn't really matter, but as long as you have a separate business email address versus these free Gmail and Yahoo addresses, you'll position yourself to get better funding opportunities for your business. Now, the next thing you'll need is a bank account. This is the number one, most important thing that you need to determine the age of your company. So your bank account is what lenders will use, right? So they're going to look at your bank account. They're going to see when you opened your bank account. So the date that you first opened your business bank account is, quote unquote, the age of your company. Now, the date that appears on your incorporation papers, which is your LLC and your EIN paperwork, they'll also take that into consideration as well. But a lot of banks are very savvy, of course, so they do know that people buy shelf corporations. They do know that you may have bought this corporation from someone else that may have already had this corporation age and sit around for a while so that you can get approved for loans. Now, most of the time, business creditors and vendors and creditors, they're going to require your business to be in business for at least 2 years or more in order to determine how much stability you have with your company. We all know that a lot of companies fail in the first couple of years of business, and banks know that too. Don't think banks are any different. They know this, and they want to be able to protect their assets. So all you have to do is position yourself. So open up your bank account as soon as you possibly can. As soon as you get your EIN number, your LLC paperwork back, file that information with your bank account. Is extremely easy. You can go to your local branch. They'll ask you for your articles of incorporation, your EIN number, and any licenses and insurance that you may need also in order to operate your business. Now, the next thing, of course, is licensing. One of the most common mistakes that I see would be with people that are trying to build business credit is they don't have the matching addresses on their licenses, or they don't have any licenses at all. So make sure that you contact your state, your county, your city government offices to ensure that you don't need any licenses. And if you do, make sure you know what required licenses or permits are needed to operate your type of business, okay? Make sure that every bill that you get, whether it's a power bill, phone bill, water bill, landlord, whatever, make sure that your business name, the business address, all of that is listed correctly on your licensing, okay? Now, what you want to do is once you get all that information taken care of, that's like the cornerstone of getting your business started. You're going to want to register yourself with the business credit reporting agency. So just like consumer credit, you also have business credit reporting agencies. It's not TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, but it's actually Duns & Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Small Businesses. So this is the major business reporting agencies, and they all serve different purposes. Now, your DUNS number is recognized by more than 200 global industry and trade associations. So whenever you open up a vendor account, in most cases, they're going to check your DUNS number or your PAYDEX score. So it's really important that you get that. You can get a DUNS number for free, guys. You can go to Duns & Bradstreet. You can register for a DUNS number for free. Now, they will offer you a credit, a trade credit package. That's a couple $1,000s. You really don't need that. You don't need it. And the only reason why you would use it is to report any existing trade accounts on your business credit report. So there are a lot of a lot of vendors that will not report your payment history on your business credit report. So you would use that service to get that reported on your credit reports, but it is not needed. A DUNS number is absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. Experian Business Report, it's used by many credit card companies, vendors, non-traditional lenders, and banks. Experian Business, they'll be able to use this in order to get you some loans, in order to get you a couple of credit cards with lenders. So a lot of major funding that you're going to need, you're going to need a Experian Business Report and score generated in order to get that accomplished. And then you have your Equifax Small Business. Majority of the data reports on the banks, they report for banks and leasing companies on your Equifax Small Business. Now, Equifax Small Business is a little more difficult actually to get an Equifax score generated. But once you do have a one up on a lot of business owners, because not a lot of creditors actually report that type of activity to your Equifax. But when they do, it's definitely a good deal. Now, what is a good business credit score? Now, when you pull your personal credit, excuse me, when you pull your personal credit, you're going to have a score that ranges from 300 to 850 for your FICO score. Now, so if you pull your business credit score and you see something like an 80, you'll be like, oh my God, my credit score is horrible. But in actuality, your credit score is great, okay? Your business credit score it ranges from 0 to 100. And any score that's 75 or above is considered strong. So you'll hear a lot of people that promote business credit. They'll tell you, get an 80 Paydex score, get your Paydex score up to 80. Well, yeah, you can definitely do that, and it's relatively easy. All you need to do is have a couple of good trade accounts reporting on your credit, pay those trade accounts on time or early, and you'll be guaranteed to have a perfect business score. Now, it's not like personal credit, whereas with personal credit, if you charge your cards, if you charge your revolving credit lines, it's going to decrease your credit score. Not like business credit. Business credit does not work that way, because banks understand, right, that you need your business credit, you need your credit in order to buy materials, in order to hire new help, in order to pay for marketing, whatever it is. Banks understand that you need your business credit in order to thrive. So you have the Duns and Bradstreet number. They are recorded by Paydex. And then you have the Experian Business they use IntelliScore. So that's a little different, but the same concept of 0 to 100. Now, how do you start generating a business credit score? Well, the first thing that you need to do is obtain a few vendor accounts. Some of the most popular vendor accounts that we recommend is Quill, Uline, and VentureLogix. Now, Quill is a office supply store, is very similar to Office Depot. Really easy to get a net 30 account. It's either a net 15 or a net 30. Quill will they won't always approve you, but a lot of people that I've come across have gotten approved, okay? So they'll approve you, excuse me, they will approve you for a net 15, a net 30 account. What that means is in about 15 or 30 days, just pay the account back and you'll be set. So they'll send you an invoice, pay that bad boy in the next, couple of days, pay it early, and then they'll report that payment history onto your business credit reports. Uline is a more of a industrial type of supply company. So they'll give you, heavy duty equipment in order to get some of your business ventures started. So whatever type of business you may have, if you have construction, if you have a warehouse, they have a lot of good materials that you can use in order to supply your company. And VentureLogix is actually a hosting service. So VentureLogix is website hosting, and they will actually report your monthly payments that you make, because everybody that has a website, well, most people that have a website pay for their hosting services either on a yearly or a monthly basis. If you pay for it on a monthly basis with VentureLogix, they will report your payment history to all 3 of the business credit bureaus, which is awesome. The next thing that you need is some retail revolving credit accounts. So after you get about 3 to 5 payment experiences or 3 to 5 trade accounts on your business credit reports, and you want to move on to some retail revolving accounts. So some retail revolving accounts are basically when you go directly to a store and you ask them for a line of credit. So this could be Amazon, this could be Best Buy, this could be Walmart, this could be Office Depot. However, Best Buy, Amazon, and Office Depot, which are listed here, they actually report only to the business credit bureaus. They don't report to your personal credit. They only report to the commercial credit reporting agencies. Now, granted, it's going to take you a little more time in order to get to the retail revolving account, but if you have about 3 to 5 good payment experiences already reporting on your credit report, you already have, if you've already been in business for a couple of months, couple of years, then these sources will be a really good option for you to start building some retail revolving credit in your business name. All right, so let's discuss some funding options so you can actually get some money for your company. Now, businesses of all sizes, they all need access to funding. They all need some money to get their business to the next level. And there are a lot of different options that are available to you. So let's actually review a few of those options so that you'll know what you have to play with. Now, the first thing is unsecured lines of credit. Now, this is the most popular and it is the most effective, and it's easier to get than any of the other options that are really out there. Now, unsecured lines of credit are essentially a way for you to get lines of credit with major banks, high limits of credit with major banks that you can use for anything for your business. Honestly, you can use it for whatever your heart desires for your business. You could use it. Now, these unsecured lines of credit, they only report to the business credit bureaus. They do not report to your personal credit at all. Now, some of them may, if you do not pay on the account. If you default on the account, then there's a possibility that they could report it to your personal credit reports. But other than that, the payment history, the account status, all of that reports directly to your business credit report so that you can build positive business credit history. Now, the great thing about this is that these are high lines of credit. Now, unlike consumer credit cards, when you apply for a consumer credit card, in most cases, you're going to be approved for, low limits of credit. So it'd be a couple thousand dollars worth of credit cards if you're a consumer, because you're consuming. Most banks don't want to fund your consuming habits, but they will help you fund some business ventures because it's going to help them have a much bigger return on the investment. So with unsecured lines of credit, we can get you high lines of credit up to $150,000. You can use it for whatever your heart desires for your business to help you grow, get funded, get some help, get some working capital, get some employees, some marketing materials. You can use it for whatever you want. And these are with major banks. And on top of that, you'll have 0% interest intro rates. So you won't even have to pay interest for the first 9 to 18 months on a lot of these cards because they are really, really good business credit unsecured lines. Now, the second thing that you may want to consider is a business line of credit. Now, this is also for people that may not have good personal credit, but they do have some strong business financials. So if you're already making money, if you already have some revenue in your company, you've been in business for about a year or so, if you're making about $50,000 or more in your company, then you can consider a business line of credit. So they'll use your accounting software and they'll calculate your revenue to see how stable your company is to determine how much of a line of credit they're going to issue your company. The third option is invoice financing. So for some companies that may issue you net 30, net 15 accounts, in most cases, they're waiting around for you to pay them back. So if you have a company like that, where you're waiting around for people to pay you, you may have some outstanding invoices, well, you can get paid on those invoices. There are companies that will actually give you money. They'll buy your outstanding invoices and they'll actually extend you some financing in exchange for that. So this will help you with any cash flow management. It'll help you manage any cash flow better. And there's no hidden fees. So that's a great thing too. The fourth thing is a business loan. So this is really self-explanatory. Business loans are very similar to consumer loans. They'll base a business loan is harder to get, however. So they're going to base this off of your financials. They're going to base this off of your taxes. They're going to base this off of a lot of different areas. However, you can still get a pretty decent amount of credit using a business loan with fixed payments. So it's not variable. It won't go up and down, but you'll know for sure what you have to pay every single month on this loan for your business. So it's a good option as well if you need a large sum of money to do some other things in your company and your business. So if you guys have any questions, that pretty much wraps up how you can get your business credit started. Please feel free to contact us at contact@flycredit.com. We're more than happy to answer any of your business related credit questions and get you started on your way to building some solid business credit without using your personal name. Again, my name is Jerry Tolliver of Fly Credit Solutions. I hope you guys got a lot of great information out of this. If you want to know more about business credit, visit us at business.flycredit.com. Grab our free business credit guide, and it'll give you some step-by-steps that you need to start taking immediately, something that you can put in your hand so that you can make this a reality. Okay, so I hope you guys got a lot of great information out of this, but until then, I'll see you next time and have a great one.